Hi guys, welcome back to Odin La Rouge Mystic Channel. It's Hugon Chris. How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully everybody's well. Hopefully you have subscribed to my channel. Hopefully you've seen all my other videos. Hopefully you've learned some of my vocabulary, some of my language, some of the way I do certain things, especially the readings. I know that we didn't get into lamps, candles, oils, and herbs, so forth and so on. But folks told me that I need to do these videos, every so often, not every day, all day, and stuff like that. But a lot of those people who tells me to do stuff like that, they're not kind of in the spiritual bubble or not even close to where I am spiritually in their lives. So I take it into consideration and think about it, and then I say, okay, why is this person telling me this? Is it for my own good? That's how I'm gonna take it, especially if it's coming from somebody that I love and appreciate. Okay, let me salute my Haitian viewers, and I'll be back. Alo, salye tout moun, tout Ougan, tout Mambo, tout Vaudouisme, ta souhaite que tout moun a protéger tête yo, protéger main ou, toujours propre, toujours mettez tête ou non côté, koto ka fait so gen pour faire, chaque jour, bon Dieu a loyo a toujours là avant. Sou pa gen temps, ou ta remen parler avec yo, mais ou pa gen temps, jon ta remen chita parler avec yo, li men un ti balen pou yo, ge de lè. Ou kompren, changer un ti glou, ba sa yo, lap ede yo, ou gelele, ou pense ke yo pap tande, yo pap gade sa kap fe, yo tande, yo we, ok? Bon Dieu, parap jamba nou on bagay, on chay ke nou para kapote. So, toujou changer sa. M'pal toune nan anglais pou tout moun ka konen mwen. So I was just telling them, always make sure that, they protect their hands, they protect their heads and stuff like that. And if they're too busy at times and stuff like that to just even light a candle or, change the water of the spirits and stuff like that. Don't think that they're not looking at us. Don't think that they're not hearing us, but they are. Just find that faith, find that little place of encouragement, even if you don't feel like you're getting it from people in your family, your mate, whatever the case may be. Find a little time just to light a little candle if you can, or even just change the water. Okay, today I'm going to start by giving up some updates onto what is going on, what is going to go on. First off, I want to say I hope to all my viewers, everybody that's out there, whether straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever the case may be, Gainesville, Florida, October 20th, 2018 is Gay Pride, okay? In Gainesville, Florida, October 20th, 2018, Gay Pride, okay? Gainesville, Florida. Odin La Rouge will be there. Last year was my first year to go and to be a vendor. We sold candles, oils, I did readings, and it was a good experience. I liked it, and it's also a way to put myself out and my business out into the community, because sometimes as us gay people, lesbians and stuff like that, sometimes, especially not so much in the voodoo culture, but in the Christian, the church house and all this other kind of stuff, sometimes they make it uncomfortable for us to go because we don't want to go and be bashed, or we don't want to hear how the way we live is wrong. So I just want to let you know that staying away is not necessarily the good thing. Going and getting what you need to get from that spiritual session, make it relate to be able in something in your life. Okay, it may not sound like it, but every time you go, just listen to the sermon. It can help you in one way or the other. Also, make sure that you protect yourself. Always make sure that you in practicing safe sex and so forth and so on, whether straight or gay, because sometimes we think that we know people that's around us, that we actually really think that we know them, and we don't. And sometimes I think they don't think that we're looking when we are looking. And I just want to say to all my viewers, like I always say, that, be safe. Love yourself enough to say, I'm going to protect myself, whether the people around me or whether my own mate doesn't want to. Let me do it for me so that I can have peace of mind. Because what happens when that's not done, you become panicked. You become living this life that you like, wait a minute, why am I thinking like that? Why am I feeling like that? It's not that you're making it up. It's for a reason why you feel that way. If you're not getting enough attention from your mate, if you feel like they're not listening, if you feel like they don't give you, that needs to be addressed. Because if you think that you're going to stay away or isolate yourself and that's going to make it better, it's not. It's going to make it worse. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Today, I'm going to talk about some real issues that has stuff to do with our spirituality. And I am talking to everybody. This is not just a voodoo thing or hoodoo or Wicca or pagan or Santeria. Whatever it is that you do, this happens to everybody. It's not just the Christians and the Catholics and the Baptists and the Seventh-day Adventists. It's everywhere. It's just that some people, some groups of people are able to hide it more than others. But relationships that have violence in it, some type of abuse, some type of domestic abuse, whether it's physical, emotionally, and mental. Let me tell you why I'm talking about this. Because I belong to this group on Facebook where we get on and we talk about candles and voodoo, and it's just a forum where you go on and you're able to ask for certain candles or what to do with this, what to do if the cards come out like this. It's a good group. Somebody came on there and showed welts of burns on her arms, and she said to the community, she said, is there a spell out there that can help me because my husband is beating me? And I said to myself, I said, okay, Chris, this is in your department. And when I say in my department, I take domestic violence and those type of issues, especially issues against women, very seriously. I don't want to hear nothing when it comes to any man picking up his hands to you. I don't care how small it is. Because let me tell you something. Not only that I lived and grew up in a house where this was happening, I've seen it happen to people close to me. And it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. If you think that your mate is doing something that he or she has no business doing, they're doing it. Because you wouldn't have the feeling if you thought that they were doing it. Listen to your gut, because it's your gut that tells you the truth. If he's not giving you enough attention, if he's isolating, if he's talking to you in certain ways, he is up to no good. Okay? And also in the gay and the lesbian community, this happens to us too. And the thing is some people say, well, guys don't, they gay, so it's no. It happens in any relationship, black, white, Israel. I don't care where you came from. But sometimes in the third world countries, it's something that's usually swept under the rug. Because in these type of cultures, we're taught to keep quiet about anything that happens in a home. I know that firsthand because I grew up in a Haitian household around all my family that's Haitian. And we were taught to keep certain things quiet. Now, what happens is when you do tell them these things, they don't believe you. They think you're creating, or they think that you have some hidden agenda and so like that. Nevertheless, the sexual abuse, it's so sad because both boys and girls are being violated on a daily basis in some of these third world countries. I'm not even going to go into the United States of America because I'm sure that all my viewers are paying attention and listening closely. This is a problem, and it happens in every home. Okay? And this rings a bell for me because it strikes a certain nerve. Because I hate when I see dominant men, okay, have the nerve to put you through certain things. And the reason why I'm saying men is because if you pay attention to statistics, if you're good in math and stuff like that, do the math. Out of 100%, what's the percentage of the domestic violence that happens in households? But that struck a nerve with me this morning because I was watching something and it just hit home. The people did a tremendous job in the movie. And it just strikes a nerve when I see stuff like that. And we think that it has nothing to do with our spiritual lives. It has everything to do with our spiritual life. Because this is the time where people come and they'll say, I want my husband gone. I want him to stop hitting me. Is there a candle? Is there a lamp? Is there a spell? The first thing you need to do before you do that is go get yourself safe, especially if there's children involved. Get yourself to a shelter. If you don't feel like, if you have more than one kid and you don't think they're going to accommodate you, just at least go. Get yourself safe. Go to a family member if you haven't burned bridges and they know that this is a history between you and this relationship. Sometimes that's what happens. The women, they rebel against their family. They don't want to hear this and they keep staying with the guy and he keeps doing it and doing it. The people that it's not happening to, sometimes we tend to be a little bit more aggressive because we don't know what it's like to be in the relationship. Stand back a little bit. Let that girl know or let that guy know that, look, I'm not in it, but I see that it's painful and I don't want you to go through it anymore. And suggest that that woman go somewhere with her kids that's going to keep her safe. Okay, so when that woman came onto Facebook and she showed the marks and then and she asked for a spell, okay? 20 people already commented on her situation and said to her, you need to get yourself in a shelter. Not spells and not none of that. Get yourself, first of all, your priority at that time is the kids. This is where the mistake happens. Us as adults, sometimes we think that kids are not watching, they're not listening, they don't understand. They are. When a kid grows up in any environment where there's violence, where there's abuse, where there's neglect, that kid is going to be hurt one way or the other. Whether they isolate themselves and they don't have friends or they don't talk, or they're out doing God knows what. These become victims of the future. And we don't think about that. And when you see these type of relationships and these women are in them, it's not about you anymore. It's about your kids. You decided to have the kids. You decided to want to be a mother or be a grandmother, whatever the case may be. You did that. You did that. So they need to be protected. That's your first thing. Second, I've had clients come before with love problems, relationship problems, and I had one recently, about a couple of weeks ago. And she came, I read for her, I saw what was going on, and at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the case, because when it comes to love magic and work and stuff like that, you got to make sure that you be very careful with the individual that you are going to do the work with, and pay attention to how you feel as the priest. Don't look at the client at that moment and say, ching, 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 dollar bills or your electric bill, your cell phone bill. Don't do that. Tell that person, regardless if they say that they're willing to pay whatever, tell that person to go home, think about it. Tell them to take a couple of days. I call this the 1, 2, 3 Chris rules, okay? The 3-day rule. You got 2 days to think about it, the good and the bad of it, and then the third day to come up with a solution and an answer for the priest or the priestess that's doing the work for you. If you think you need longer, think about it longer, because once you do this, you opened up a door Okay? And wherever you go, whether they're dealing with spirits, saints, and I don't care what religion you're in, once you open that door is open. Okay? And you may think that it's not going to affect you now, but it will affect the future. So if if this is somebody that you're trying to get to stay in love with, could tie you up or bind the man, bind the woman, whatever the case may be, listen to the story before you go ahead and you do that. Because sometimes us as humans, and I just can't say humans, but we tend to think about what we want out of the situation besides the practical, the theory part of it, about what we want. We listen to our heart first, okay? But don't go and ask to stay with some guy who doesn't care about you, who doesn't pay no mind to you, who just thinks of you as a bed, somebody that he could crawl on top of and roll over, and all this other kind of stuff. Think about it before you go ahead and make this commitment, because you may not see results this month, the second month, the third month, but if you start to see that the work is turning around on you, you did that. You did that because you went to go do the work. And if the worker that you go to, the spiritualist, whoever it is, if they don't explain this to you like this, then you need to go find somebody else, or you need to go and think really hard if that's something that you want to do. Okay? So in the domestic violence, that person can't come to me and say they want to be gone, they want to hurt him, they want to do all this, because let me tell you something. You have to remember that when you get to a place where you're thinking clearly and you feel safe or whatever, that guy's going to come back. He's going to come back. That has nothing to do with spirits. That has nothing to do with work, candles, whatever the case. He's going to come back because the individual is sick. It's only people that are not well that act like this. So when you do that and you see that he comes back, sometimes that could be the spirit that's tricking you to see what you're going to do. Are you going to stick to your guns? Stick to the work that you did? Stick to the time apart that you were able to get yourself together and take him back? Or are you going to have faith in the spirits? Number one, God. Okay? And to say, wait a minute, I spent money on work, candles, time, energy. Why? What in God's word that would make me want to go back with you? That's what you need to say to yourself. Think about it. So when I saw this on Facebook, I did nothing. I didn't want no parts of it to answer, because let me tell you what sometimes happens. You'll get 20 people, okay? And each of them have a different opinion about the situation. And oh my God, I've seen this 100 times. You can say one thing, then you got all these people that you don't even know commenting on your comment, especially if you have a different idea than you do, and they start throwing it out. They start telling you everything. Oh, how dare you? Who do you think you are? This, and that. And let me tell you, I want no parts of it, because Chris, okay, I'm not even going to tell you, but I'm just going to say to you that be careful with what comment that you throw, because it could be your comment that may help the person, or it may be your comment that just explodes a whole thing, a whole drama, something that you didn't even mean to do, and it turns into everything else besides the victim. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going around it to show you how it ends up back at the victim's foot. Because you're throwing out all these ideas, what she should do, where she should go, this and that. And that's not what she came on Facebook to get. She came on Facebook and she specifically asked for a spell. Okay? At that point in time, it's not time for spells. It's not time for candles, because the spirit is not going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to help you right now, but don't go to the shelters that's available to you. Stay in there, do the spell, and continue to get your ass kicked. There's no spirit on this planet, in this world, in this universe that would tell you that. And if a spirit does that to you, you need to go far away to make sure that you close every door that you can if you got a spirit that's misleading you, because it's not real. That's a trick. Okay? So, to all my workers, to all my people that light candles, to all that practice magic, that's into the voodoo, that's into the Santeria, that's into who that's like that, be careful when you take work. Okay? Try to figure out how this will come and fall back at your doorsteps, because clients, sometimes they may not realize they're doing it, but they tend to keep calling, and sometimes they'll say, oh, I didn't call for nothing, I just called to see how you were doing and stuff. But then if you pay attention to the message, in the same message you'll hear, oh, the candle was done, or I had a dream, or I had a feeling about something. Once you do that, they're going to go on with a tangent. Okay? So if this is what you do to gain friends, respect, or power, then that's on you. I'm just letting you know what it's like. Okay? So just be careful when you take on certain jobs, especially jobs that have to do with reverse. Okay? Reverse, that people don't understand, is like a mail that comes in the mail, and that person doesn't live at the address anymore. Or it is a mail from somebody that you have no interest in, that you don't want to hear, you don't want to talk, and then you write return to sender. That's what reversal work is. See, a lot of times, sometimes as priests and priestesses, we don't, at the moment of the consultation, which I hope that everybody does before they do any kind of work, all these do come up in the consultation. Sometimes we get so caught up into the reading, into the person. Sometimes it could be the person that's distracting us. And we start losing focus of here. And then we're like, oh yeah, I'll help you. I'll do this. I'll do that. Not knowing that we just trapped ourselves. So I'm just telling you all this, is that if you get people that come with relationship problems, you hear abuses being involved, let these people know, let the clients know, let whoever it is, whether it's family, friends, that the first thing they need to do, especially if there's children involved, they need to be in the best interest of the children, and you need to get them safe. And not safe just physically, but mentally and emotionally, because those children are scarred. Especially if this is something that's been going on for years. They're scarred in one way or the other. Okay, so I said that to you because when you get onto Facebook, when you get onto WhatsApp, when you get onto these different boards and stuff like that, these apps, people have a way of telling you what's going on with them. You just don't pay attention to it because you don't understand it. They're trying to reach out. They are trying to reach out. And they want help. But sometimes they don't know how to go and get it. Advise them. Just tell them, look, get yourself safe. Get yourself to a place where you're going to be okay. And then the spiritual part of it will come after. Because once you have your belief, and you believe in your God, and you believe in your spirits and stuff like that, they're watching. And they're going to talk to you, but you may not know how to listen because the situation is so violent, or it's just too explosive that sometimes they don't think that you're hearing them. But they are talking, they are reaching out. So take that into consideration. Okay? I also wanted to talk about relationships with the spirits and study sessions. Give me a minute. Relationships and study sessions. People sometimes don't understand, or they look at you and they say, how are you so close to the spirits? How do you know what they're saying? How do you know what they're doing? Can you see them? Can you they think of all these things about you. And they don't understand that this is a life altering journey. Your relationships with your spirit didn't just start when you decided to get on the path. It was always there. Now, this is what happens with some of us priests and priestesses. We start losing faith when we think things are not going in our favor. Let me tell you something, okay? I will be the first one to tell you about these feelings, especially when we think that our situation is not going to change. Don't feel that way. Let me tell you, building a relationship with any spirit that you have or that works with you or that works for you, you need to let the people around you know that this is not something that just started today. Relationships with your spirit is the most important relationship that you can have on this planet. Okay? And as long as you live, it just says you can't have a divorce with the spirits. You can't run from them. You can't, because they're always there. Especially if this is a relationship that you've built over years. Okay? And I'm saying that to you is because it's sometimes if we don't have money in our accounts, or we don't have money in our pocket, or things are not going business-wise good for us, or you're on a job that you hate but you don't know why you're staying, you feel like you're not blessed and stuff like that. But the beginning of the year, you light a candle to St. Peter on New Year's. I'm just giving you a scenario. You lighted a candle or a lamp to St. Peter to say, St. Peter, open up all my doors for me, please, whether it be love, whether it be employment, whether it be financial, whatever it is. You asked him to open up that door for you. But you didn't see that the door got opened for you because you asked for it specifically how you wanted it, what you wanted. St. Peter opened up that door. If you have a new job, St. Peter opened up the door. If you have a new love in your life that you didn't have no idea was going to come, St. Peter opened up the door. If you have food on the table, a car to go back and forth to work, and you still able to pay your bills on time, St. Peter opened up that door for you. You just didn't see that he did. And that's the same thing that you have to let your clients know as well. They think that because they come and they do a work with you, that they have to get it the same way that you may have petitioned for it. Or you said, oh, I asked him to send the car into the driveway with a bouquet of roses. Really? No, that's not going to happen like that. If you're able to eat every day, you get into a warm, comfy bed, your bills are paid. And I'm not talking about just the one if you're late and all that other stuff, but I'm talking about if you're comfortable, St. Peter opened up the door. Now, they say, oh, Chris, it's amazing how you're so close with Jewush, how she talks to you. And let me tell you something. Do you think that relationship started yesterday? Let me tell you something, okay? Jewush was given to me in 2006. Okay, we in 2018. I did my priesthood in 2004. Okay? So now, mind you, I'm picking up all my ancestors, all my family spirits, everything. I took oath. Okay? And I did 41 days of seclusion, isolation, for me to be able to sit where I'm sitting here today. So when somebody asks me a question like that, I look at them and I see them so naive, so vulnerable. And I tell them, you know what? How long you been with your man? Okay, because see, this is how long you've been with your man or your girlfriend or your wife or whatever the case may be. Oh, we've been together for a couple of years. Did you just get with him that first day and you said that you wanted to be with him forever? Did you just move in and notice that he doesn't keep the toilet clean, or he doesn't hang up his clothes, or he eats in the middle of that time? Did that just happen with it? No, it didn't. Did you just think that, he's going to give you the roses, the gifts, all that stuff while you guys are dating, and it's going to be great? But all of a sudden, you move in and things start to happen. You notice changes in behaviors and stuff like that. You had to work. You had to spend time with him. You had to see some type of pattern. But you know what you did? They always say love is blind. And that's exactly what it is, because we choose to do that. We'll say, oh, maybe it's just this week he's not hanging up the clothes. Or, oh, maybe he's just going through something. That's why we're not having sex every day, or whatever the case may be. Or he doesn't tell me that he loves me on a regular basis, or he only does it at this certain time. That's the truth that you're getting right there. Pay attention to it. That's the truth right there. Okay, what you're getting. So, let me tell you something, okay? The spirits, they talk to us. We smell them. We can feel them. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't have to be in somebody's spiritual bubble or their botanica or their house to know if they're charged or if they're properly serving their spirits. I can feel it. I can walk into somebody's house, or I can walk into a botanica and see if that place is spiritually charged. The cemetery, the woods, the crossroad, the ocean, the river, all these places are charged. So when you go through them and you're a sponge, because that's what they call us. We absorb and we soak up energy. You feel it. Okay? You will feel, it's like a heat. It's like your whole body just gets warm. Your heart either starts racing, or you feel like you want to cry. Those are all the things that they do to us to let us know they're there. Okay? Whether you can see it, whether you can hear it, they're there. When you walk into your home and you feel flustered, or you feel sad, or you feel happy, it's them. That's them when you come through that front door. That's them when you go into your altar room. That's them when you go and you light a candle at somebody else's house, or you go to the... That is them. That's telling you, we're here. We're here. So do what you got to do, because we're here. Especially if you're going to do work, if you're going to get a reading for somebody. If the client is in front of you, you're doing a reading, and they tell you that they feel this way, you got to let them know why they feel that. And also, pay attention to who you're reading for. It could be that person's spirit. Because in order for me to get your personal information, it's not just what the card says. My spirit and your spirit has to make some type of connection. It's like when you have a friend that comes over for dinner. Let's just say, for instance, you have this friend. You guys are still getting to know each other, but you're comfortable with them coming in the house without knocking. Okay? Well, guess what? That's what they do on the other side. They hang out. They have coffee. They have the same life that we had. They used to have the same thing. The only thing now is that they're doing it on the other side. They're doing it not with the body, but they're doing it in spirit. So when you tell that friend, oh, you could just come in, the door's open, just come in. That friend gets used to that. And they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they do. So when that person comes get the reading, my spirit is going to knock on that door to your spirit. And it's going to say, okay, you came, we're going to talk about something. It's the same thing as you go to the doctor's office, the lawyers, whatever, facials, hair, nails. A consultation is going to be done. So the spirit's going to knock on the door, okay, and say, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you help my horse. That's what I call it, because in Creole, that's what we call shwal. It's the horse of that particular priest or priestess that spirit is mounting, and the spirit saddles up, just like you get on a horse and you go. That's when you see the person, they're going back and forth, they're going this way, they're going that way. The spirit is riding you until you and that horse understands each other. So they knock on the door. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, so you're gonna you're just gonna do a consultation, or oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead. So now your spirit says, yeah, go ahead. Now that's when the cards go down, and my spirit is telling me what your spirit is telling her, and then I'm repeating it to you. That's how spiritual readings go. And if you're doing it from a voodoo perspective, Santeria, I'm not talking about Wiccan, pagan, and stuff like that. I'm talking about a voodoo priest or Babalawo, whatever. The reading's going to be different from the pagan and the Wiccan. Because now we're going into your spiritual spirit ancestors, your saints, your spirits. It's different. The reading's going to be different because you came and you wanted to find out what was going on with you. And if you specifically said that you want to know what's going on in your spiritual life, that's what's going to happen. So this is what they do. It takes time, if not years, or not even for the rest of your life. You're building that spirit relationship between you and the spirit. That's why I told you guys in all those other videos, and if you look at my videos, you'll always see that I'm very consistent, okay, with everything that I do, especially when I'm in this spiritual life. You will see the consistency. I light my little white candle. I have my water. Those are consistent behavior. Those are things that just goes naturally because that's the way I always set up. Okay, so it just comes out just like that. Once I do that, I'm letting my spirits, okay, know that I'm getting ready to do something with them. I'm knocking on that invisible door and I'm telling them, hey, we're going to have our coffee now. So if I study every day with my spirit, whether I do it with a light or whether I do it without the light, that spirit is there with me. Okay? Because I'm learning about that world. I'm studying about how to take care of them or how to feed my spiritual life so that I can be able to help the clients that come. Okay? That's that time that I'm spending time with the spirits. So that what I'm trying to tell you is that it's not a relationship that happens overnight. Just because you can't hear them or you can't see them and you're initiated or you have a relationship with the priest or the priestess, that doesn't mean that your spirits are not talking, or that doesn't mean because you can't hear them or feel them or see them that they're not there. They're there. It's a trust thing. Okay? It's a trust thing because the spirit needs time to be able to see if you can be trusted. And the reason why is you get a lot of people that's full of baloney. They're full of baloney. They will sit here and they'll pop people for $100 reading back to back, back to back, back to back. And they're full of baloney. If you go and get a reading somewhere and you're not touched or enlightened, then you didn't benefit from that experience. You need to figure out if the person was telling you stuff that you needed to hear or stuff that you wanted to hear. There's two types of readings. It's the one that keeps you aware or puts you aware of something, or if it's a reading of confirmation. I did XYZ, ... So I want to know, how did XYZ go? The person tells you it went like this. You got what you needed from the reading. Okay? Because I hear people say, oh, I went and I got a reading, but they didn't tell me anything serious. What did they tell you? Oh, he just told me that, I have a new job that's ready to come up and I filled out some applications. He told me that to get discouraged. He told me to be aware that I have some friends that I haven't seen in years. They're getting ready to come up, or I'm having a social event coming up. And then you say that, oh, okay. So just because they don't happen next week or the week after, then that means it wasn't true? And then all of a sudden, you do go out of town, or you do have these people that come from out of town and they come to your house and you're socializing, or you did get that job that you wanted or that raise that you wanted. So that means the reading is working. You are enlightened by the reading. So what I'm trying to tell you is stop paying attention to what you want the way you want it. And just remember that every time you light your candles, you pray, you're asking for, remember what I said in all my other videos, Pray for what you need first, and then pray for what you want afterwards. Because you need to pray for your needs first, not what you want. And then it's the same thing where people will get their check from work and they pay their rent once a month or whatever. You can't go buy outfits first because that's what you want before you pay your rent. You need to pay the rent because you need a place to stay. So that's what I'm talking about. It's about when you're doing your petitions, make sure that you praying for something that you need and not something that you want. Build that relationship with that spirit. Build a relationship with your spirit so that they can become one with you. And then that's when you start to see that you hear them, you smell them, you can feel them. Or if they blessed you with the gift of sight, that eventually you can see them. People think because they want things their way, that's the way that the spirits have to do it. You don't own no spirit. Are you serious? You don't own them. They do what they want. The only time you gotta be in control of them is when you go into ceremonies where possession can take place. And you don't know those people at that party, or you don't know the priest or the priestess who's holding the party. So that way you don't want your spirit to get enticed so that they could come and dance on you at the people's house. That's the time when you tell them, look, we just going to see the party, or we're just going to so and so. I don't know them. So please don't go and come down because these people don't know you. They don't even care about you. That's when you tell them that you need to be the one in control. And even then, it's still up to them if they want to come down or not. But after a while, you build that relationship years on. They can tell what is going on. They can tell how you feel. They can tell what you want from them and vice versa. So I can't say to you that it took from 2006 to now for me to be able to be in one with my spiritual guide. I can't tell you that because there was times where it felt like it would never happen. And there was times where I felt that it was too fast. But if you're studying, and I'm talking about studying where that spirit and you need to be on the same page, light your candle, put your water, okay? So that it's like a coffee break with that spirit. It's like two friends getting together, like a study session. Oh, I'm going to come over. I'm going to help you with the math homework. Or I'm going to come over. I'm going to help you with it. That's what you got to act like it is with the spirit. Because she's listening or he's listening and they're learning it. Because sometimes these spirits, there are ancestors that come from a whole nother part of the world, speak a whole different language. Guess what? That spirit needs to be programmed with you, okay, so that you guys become one with one another. And I can't give you a specific time that this happens or months that this is going to happen. And another thing, when people get their head washed, like we call it lavetet, or you're doing some type of small initiation where they're putting you together with this guide, just because you don't hear that guide next month or the month after doesn't mean that it wasn't done right. It doesn't mean that some people are luckier than others. I'm going to tell you that. Because some people, right when that's happening, that guide, boom, right there in that retreat, right there in that initiation, makes themselves known. Even though those are the best, but it doesn't happen for everybody. But that doesn't mean that you didn't get what you needed to get. You have to make time. You have to put that energy into it for you to get what you need to get. Here's another thing. I don't understand why I'm not seeing them. I don't understand why I can't hear them. Okay, here we go. That's another thing on my list. It tickles me when people tell me that they don't hear them, they don't see them, but they want them. But you don't even have $7 or $5 to put out on a candle, on a 7-day candle. Okay? And I'm not talking about if you live in a place and you don't have access to them. Because let me tell you something. You will have access to some type of candle. These candles in New York or any major city or whatever, I've seen these candles go from $3.99 up to $16, okay? You got all this resources around you to get to botanicas, to get to places where they make candles, even places where they sell them, and even the ones you like. And you can't even buy $5.99 or $7.99 for a candle, and you're asking why you don't see them, why you don't hear them. Because you want to go, if you can spend $8 on a meal for your dinner, just for your dinner, I'm not talking about lunch earlier when you spent another $5, or breakfast this morning when you spent another $4, but you don't have money to get a candle for your spirit. And this is not something that you're just doing when you pick them up and let them know that you're here. This is something that you consistently do. Everything else is important besides a candle. I'm talking about a candle. Or how about a glass of water or a cup of coffee? Let me tell you, you don't have to have an altar to give an offering. You don't have to. All you have to do is put yourself into a place where you can speak to that spirit or your spirits. Make the cup of coffee or the water, whatever the case may be. Get yourself into that zone, into that bubble. Let that spirit know, or the spirits, this is for you. I may not have the altar. I know I'm working on it, and I have to do this, that till I can. Put that coffee there. Put that water there. No one else needs to know why it's there. Especially if you live where this stuff is not accepted, or you don't want nobody else to know that you do this. Put that coffee there. Put that water there. Because it's all about the intent. The intentions. You intentionally put that cup of coffee there for that spirit. You intentionally put that water there for that spirit. They took it. They accepted it. They are grateful because you know why? You gave them a little attention. Just by you doing that, just by you taking the coffee, putting it in the pot, making it and putting it down, they appreciate that. That whole act that you just did. So I don't want to hear that, oh, I don't hear them, I don't smell them, I don't see them, and oh, they don't even come to my dreams, and you're not doing anything to get this relationship together with them. You're not doing anything that's showing them that, you know what, this $7.99 or this $5.99 candle is about you guys. This is my chance to get you guys something. That's an offering. Whenever you set any lights with the spirits, that's an offering. You can leave them without the candles. You may not want this exposed. But you see, let's go back to the intention. It's about the intention behind the candle. No one has to know. So don't ask certain questions where in the bottom of your stomach you already know the answer to. Because see, that's what I do. I ask questions and I look behind the intent of the question to see what it is that you really wanted me to answer to you, or what it is really that you want to know without asking me directly. That's just how some people do it. They don't know how to tell you exactly how they feel. But take the time, build that relationship with that spirit, because I'm going to tell you something. Besides your boyfriend, besides your husband, your wife, whatever other relationship you got going on in this world, God, that relationship that you have with God and those saints and those spirits are one of the most important relationships that you can have while blood is flowing through your heart and your veins on a daily basis in your lifetime. If you don't anchor that relationship with those spirits, God first, you can't say that you're a person that's blessed, because you're taking one of those the most important relationship in your life, and you're not doing anything about it. So these are some of the things I wanted to talk to you about. It don't have to be me showing you practical things in order for you to say that's not it. I'm talking about the core of the relationship with the spirits. Your intent behind the relationship with the spirit. Now, one thing I've heard over the years, especially when I was start beginning, they used to say, "Oh, the spirits don't get involved in your personal life. They're not there when this is happening or that happened." You know, they pick and choose to tell you certain things, and then later on, you hear something different, or you hear the same thing that somebody that wasn't even around told you about that little thing, that the spirits are there. The spirits are there, yes, but sometimes if they put their trust and faith in us and back and forth, the same type of thing is going on, being reciprocated, they're there. They're there. You think that I'm making this video for you guys, that my spirits, my guide is not here with me? She's here. She's here. I didn't need to invoke her. I didn't need to tell her anything. I did it this morning when I got out of my bed. Once I walked into this room, they're there. They're there. In my home, in my house, you will see I am all over this house. Not even me, but they are all over this house, because this is their house as well. This is a house of God. And that is able to give me the privilege to be able to do what it is that I do. I don't need to convince anybody else this way, because this is who I am. They're there. Put $7 to the side once a week. Okay? This is just an idea. You may not, or you may be able to. That's your candle money. That's your oil money. That money is just for the spirits. Nothing else. So that when you go and you need to get your candles and stuff like that, you put the money away for you to be able to get the candles. So that money is it. So that's not going to stop you from getting your little outfits, your nails done, your hair done, because you know that $7 you put for the side that week is for the spirits. Say, for instance, you get paid every 2 weeks and you don't have the $7 1 week. But in 2 weeks, you mean to tell me that you cannot put $5 or $7 to the side to get one candle that's going to be lit for 7 days? 7 days. So let's say, for instance, you do that once a month. Once a month, this is what you're going to do. This is my offering to you. This is my way of connecting with you. Here you go. They're going to appreciate it. But you cannot ask somebody else why you don't have a relationship with your spirits. You don't understand. Well, you're not doing anything to invoke them. You're not putting them a part of your life. You're putting everything else besides a candle or a cup of coffee or some water. Think about it. If you go out and have ladies' night, or if you go out, like they say, with the fellas and stuff like that, it's going to take gas for you to go to the, what do you call those places where they go and they get together? Let's just say, for instance, over at one of the boys' house, like they say, or one of the girlfriends' house. Oh, Starbucks. Do you know that Starbucks, the coffee is expensive? It's expensive. It's going to cost you a little bit. That's the candle money. You have a choice. The $7 once a week or once every 2 weeks, you have a choice. You need gas in the car to go to Starbucks with the girls. You need to get your hair done if you go before, and you got products in the bathroom or wherever it is that you do with yourself. You had to pay for those things. That's the candle money. You mean to tell me that you can't put $5, $6 down to the side for the spirits? They're going to appreciate that because they're going by the intent, not the physical thing. Intent, your heart. What you're going to say, okay, yes, this is for my spirits. Okay? So whether you do it twice a month, build that relationship. Everybody's not like Chris. Everybody's not a priest or a priestess or a Santera or a Babalau or a witch. Everybody's not going to do the same things that I do or to another priest or priestess. But you can't come and say to me, why can't I hear them? Why can't I see them? They're not coming into my dreams. I don't even feel heat, or I don't even feel. You're not invoking it. You're not invoking it. Spend time with them. Go into the room if you have one. Go in front of your altar if you have one. And just sit there. Just like if you were going to Starbucks. Just like if you were going to Barnes and Nobles. Anytime that you do anything out of I want to, listen to the vocabulary, not need to, I want to. I want to go to Starbucks. I want to go meet the girls at Barnes and Nobles. Or I want to go over to Cicely's house or Tanya's house. That's a want. It's not a need. You need to light the candle. Because that's your spiritual life. That's a part of your life. Your spiritual life. And it's not something that's just built like Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It takes energy. And don't ask questions that you don't want the truth in response. Okay? Please don't. Let's see here. People around you. There's another thing. Support system. If you don't feel like doing something with somebody, okay, a ceremony or a prayer session or whatever the case is, don't do it. Don't bring your ass into somebody else's spiritual situation, spiritual service if you don't want to do it. Don't do it. Because you know what you're bringing to the service? Do you know what you're doing to that person's service when you do that? When you come and you distance yourself as to what's happening. You're not going there because you want to share or you want to participate. Or you genuinely want to help this person that's doing the service. Don't go. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. Your spirit is shut down. You shut down from what's happening at the moment. Okay? And I'm talking about when you're intentionally doing it. I'm not talking about if you get there and you don't like what's being done and you walk out or you walk away. So I'm talking about if you knew that this service was coming up, this person asked you for help or they wanted you there and you don't want to be there. Don't go. Please don't go. So all my priests and priestesses out there, all the people who hold services, you invite people, all the things. Make sure that who you're inviting into your spiritual life, your spiritual circle, is not somebody that has ill intentions towards you. Somebody that bashes you. Somebody that talks behind your back. And I'm talking about disgustingly. Somebody that you do not let them into your service area. Okay? Because that person does not want to be bothered. Their spirit is already made up their mind and shut down. If somebody invites me to a voodoo ceremony, okay, and it's for Papa Ogu, Ogu Batagi, and I don't want to be there, I'm not going. I'm not going. Not only because we're in the same religion and my spirit, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to go to your ceremony. My spirit is telling me not to go to your service. Whether it's I don't want to or whether it's I don't like you, don't go. Don't go. If your spirit is telling you not to go, don't go. Because you're not helping that person. If anything, you're taking that person as a joke. Always let your people know. Like I always tell my people, look, I'm doing this service, I'm doing this, and that. You guys know how I get when I'm doing the service. If I say something that you know that, oh, I would never say this. If you see me acting a certain way, if you see me aggressive, or if you see me that, I already told you. Okay, so you can't hold that against me. Is it right for me to treat the people around me like that? No, it's not right. But if these are people that know you, know how you act or go on when it's time for you to prepare what you need to prepare for your spirits, you can't take that personally. Because I've been a godchild of other priests and priestesses where their behavior was erratic, bossy, aggressive. I mean, talk to you like, ugh, don't go. I didn't hold it against them because you know why? Not only it was they're doing a party that's for the spirits, but I know that person doesn't mean that. Because doing services for the spirits, especially if you're not a cheap person, that in itself right there made the person get crazy. Because they're not thinking about how much or how the price is or whether their only intention is to please that spirit. That's it. That is it. It's the same thing if you go to school and you know Rebecca is in your class. Okay? And you have a problem with Rebecca, but you still continue to keep on going to Becca's study session that she holds at her house once a week. But you don't like Becca. Why did you go? Becca's not the only person you can study with. Why did you go? You went because you like the way Becca does things. You just don't like Becca. That's a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice whether you want to attend or not. It's a choice. If you go to my other videos, you will always hear me say choice. Whether it's how you do things, how you do your candles, your lamps, your baths, you have a choice. Don't listen to what I'm telling you and feel like you don't have to turn the other cheek and go about your business and say, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to act like how he's telling me to do it. I don't like that. I like his videos though. That's a choice. But if I am speaking to you, you are listening to me, you feeling what I'm saying to you, you have some type of experience, some type of personal thing that you hear what I'm saying and it registers, that means this, you needed to hear this. You needed to hear this or you needed to see this video. Okay? Because I've opened many books. I've saw many videos where I felt like that person was talking directly at me. It's almost like that person, I would say, did we know each other or did you read my mind the whole time you were talking? That means it was meant for you to hear. It was meant for you to see it and you benefited from it. Leave me a comment. Email me. Go visit my website. I even have a box on the bottom there that's connected directly to my Lakai Jerwus 39 Yahoo account. I'm going to get it. Email me. Talk to me. Let me know how you feel. Whether you like the video or whether you don't. I need to hear what you guys are thinking and seeing and feeling. Because I'm here not only to promote my small new business, but also as a vessel to the spirit, because I deal with them every day. That's my life. Every day they're in it. Whether I'm sitting there and I'm shuffling my cards, whether I'm reading a book, whatever it is that I'm doing, those spirits are a reminder. The rings that I have on my fingers, the jewelry that I wear, they're everywhere. It's a reminder. You'll be surprised how much I can help you or offer something to you that can help you on your spiritual path. So this is what this video was about today. It was the awareness of abuse. It was awareness of your relationship with the spirit. What's considered intent and what's considered nothing. Or how you feel about when it's time for you to do your choices. Whether you want to go out with the girls for Starbucks, or the study session with your spirits. The buying the candle or buying the expensive coffee. This is what this was all about. Take the time. Don't focus on how it's being delivered. Or don't focus on what's on my wall in the room or whatever. Focus on what the message was about. Focus on what I was talking about to you. If it rings a bell, let me know. If it doesn't ring a bell, let me know. I'm not going to know unless you send me the comment, the email, or whatever. Visit my website once again, guys, www.audanlarouge.com. That's ODANLAROUGE.com. You'll get a full biography. You'll get to see what it is that I do, how much does it cost, whatever the case may be. Okay? If you guys need any supplies, if you let me know ahead of time, you could always PayPal me your funds or whatever, and I can order it from my suppliers, whatever the case may be. Email me, make a comment, okay? You'll get a full biography, everything. Continue to watch my videos, subscribe to my channel. Audan LaRouge Mystic channel at YouTube. Let me tell you something. I used to see these videos before I started my own videos. And I used to say, oh, that looks like it's a piece of cake. It looks great. And let me tell you, these videos are work. Okay? I be exhausted when I'm done doing them. Because that's your chance to put yourself out there. Once you're out there, you're out there. Once you start getting people that's viewing this, you don't know who's looking at these videos. So you have to make it worth not only the people's while, but worth your while too. How did you feel? What did the words flow? Did you pay attention to your notes? What is it? Respect the videos, respect the people. Now, if you're joking, you're promoting, nonsense and all this other kind of stuff, that's a different thing. But if you're doing research and you're trying to find and you're trying to see what things are all about, watch these videos. Take the time. Put that time in. You'll be surprised what you learn. Let me say goodbye to my Haitian viewers, and then this is going to be over. Sometimes moun yo, m'ta pa explique un bon paquet bagay. M'ta souhaite si tout moun ki gade bagay sa yo ka kompren sa m'a di. Ma parle de moun yo avec un bon paquet bagay domestique. Bagay qui fait nan kay côté ti moun pas supposé tande, on bon paquet bataille, on bon paquet tout qualité côté ti moun a violé bagay. Gade video sa yo, subscribe na YouTube channel mwen. Ale gade ti website mwen, www.audanlarouge.com. Voye un email, text mwen ti bagay nan video, make sure que ou ka tande ou comprendre sa map di. Ki kalite bagay map di livre by moun yo. M'bezwen tande nou. Voye mon email, comment sou video an. Mais m'bezwen tande nou parce m'bezwen wè si m'ka ede yon moun ou si yon moun m'ka ede li ou eske l ka kompren sa map di. Si moun ap gade sa li pa kompren sa map di, explique li sou sa haïtien ou ka parle anglais, explique moun na exactement sa map di pour l ka kompren. M'bezwen sali nou tout gan, tout mambo, tout vouloizan, m'salye nou, pote nou bien. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace out.